Gym Leaders, the true first test for all trainers who have the intention of one day challenging the champion him or herself. They are the cogs that make the wheel flow in the region. Without them, there are no stepping stones to reach the next level. They are here to test one thing and one thing only. Do you have what it takes? Well, today we'll be flipping that. With Black and White 2 being my favourite Pokemon games, I feel it is only right to ask the fine leaders of Unova that question also. Are they worthy enough to truly represent the peak of Pokemon? And if so, which of the 8 are the best in the region? This list is based off your first battles with the gym leaders alone, the regular versions, not the easy or challenge mode versions. And to truly make it fair, I'm following a few rules. Facing the gym leaders with the same amount of Pokemon as them, no over leveling past their aces level, and last but not least, playing on set mode.
We'll have a battle to be proud of. Let's do our best.
This ass whooping is about to be biblical. This is gonna come with passion. This ass whooping is gonna be seductive. Alright? This is gonna be an amazing, spectacular ass whooping. Spectacular with a C, not a K.
You are guilty of the one unforgivable crime!
Leading that PokeStar Studios representative towards us, which forces us to undertake a 10 to 15 minute tutorial that no one should have to be forced to do. But that aside, you're dead last because of how easy it is to actually stop you from doing pretty much anything to me. You bring yourself a Magnemite to this gym, then clearly you're more demented than Kane ever could be.
He is a hideous human being, without a conscience, uncaring. Give a damn about anybody.
Because with this team, there is no touching you. But even without a Magnemite, which was my case here, it's not exactly that difficult of a gym. Even when losing one of my moms, I never really felt like I was in much danger here. And that was with a weak Magby and a neutral effective Duots. Roxy, for these reasons, is a bit of a letdown. And then if that wasn't enough, he then goes and screws over Berg by taking away one of his team members. Number 7, Skylar. You may be 2 for 2 for having one of the best designed gyms in the series, but in both Unova games, this girl is a pushover. I mean, she starts over with a swoop out. That's literally her throwing the towel in already. She picks it up a bit with Skarmory, but clearly you decided to discuss team order with Gito of all people. Why did you not start with Skarmory? Its role is to literally lead and lay out hazards for the opposition for the rest of the battle. Steven Stone frowns at you, Skylar. But then again, that literally doesn't matter when you have a Swan of all things as your ace. Skylar clearly crumbled under the expectations, which makes sense considering she's in between Clay and Drayden in the gym lineup. But then again, when you make the decision to keep Swoobat on your team in both Unova games, your abilities as a gym leader have to come into question.
You're wrong! You're fucking poor!
Number 6, Berg. So as I mentioned earlier, Roxy more or less snatched his Whirlipede, like it's Team Rocket trying to catch that Pikachu from the twerps. The only difference is she actually succeeded, and Berg has to pay the price for it. Because of the lack of early bug types in this game, Swadloon had to be used as Berg's leading Pokemon. The problem is the fact that his ace is Swadloon once it's happy enough with its puberty. So now you've got 2 Pokemon that can be one hit by a good fire or flying type. As shown here, my Golbat is literally cutting through butter. The Dwebble does its best to save face for Berg, but that's not going to be a problem if you've got yourself a water type in your team, which chances are you probably already have at this point. I can't blame Berg for this though. Unlike Skylar, he doesn't really have the tools to actually be better than what he is at this point in the game, without adding an overpowered Heracross or something like that into his lineup. Yeah, Bugsy may have done this in Johto, but at the same time you do remember the baggage Cypher was carrying, right? Number 5, Marlon. Now, I won't lie, before playing through this game again, I had this idiot much lower on my list. I just always remember being disappointed with him as the final gym leader, especially after just facing Drayden of all people. But fair enough, mate, you've got a whole lot more going for you than I thought. That Caracosta with Sturdy is a fantastic lead, as it's guaranteed to last more than one turn at the very least. Whilst Wailord can be pretty underwhelming, I am a big fan of the Pringles guy being Marlon's ace, and while I may have got through him pretty easily, I am using the most powerful Pokemon in the world. If you allow Marlon to get these scalds off, it can be a pretty tricky time for you. If your team is more physical attacking base, they're gonna get pretty crippled by those burns. So credit where credit is due. You may be an idiot, Marlon, but you're stronger than I thought you were. Number 4, Sharon. Wait, the guy with a Patrat and a Lillipup is this far up on the list. Moda, did you hit your head or something in frustration when Cody didn't finish the story? Listen, Sharon being the opening gym leader is perfect. He's a normal type user in this game, and unless you have a level 15 Riolu, which at that point will have Force Palm, you're not gonna have anything to super effectively hit his team. And unfortunately this applies to me as I'm following the level cap, which in this case is 13. If you're not prepared, his Lillipup and even his Patrat will shred through your team with World Cup powered tackles. I bought my DS back in the day after losing half a dozen times to Sharon when I first got this game a decade ago. Alder gives you Oran Berries before you face Sharon for a reason.
I award you
and may God have mercy on your soul.
He's the former champion, and even he knows you're going in as the underdog in this battle. Number 3, Clay. That Excadrill of his is an absolute monster. Only this time, things are going even tougher compared to his Black and White 1 battle, with him swapping out his Palpitoad for a bulky Sandslash. Not to mention his Krokorok remains as a good lead thanks to that Intimidate ability. You need to head to this gym well prepared. If not, you will be punished for wasting the Minor King's time. Whether that's defense lowering Crush Claws from Sandslash or Rock Slide flinching from Excadrill. Thankfully, RNG was on my side when battling him for this video. On another day, I may not have been so lucky, though I'm more than happy to place Clay in the top 3 of this list.
Stop! Why do I hear boss music?
Alright, number 2, Drayden. I won't lie, I had him at number 1 originally. However, I don't know if it was just me, but the AI for the Opelousas City Mayor wasn't the best. Here I was standing with Lucario, expecting to use him as a throwaway mon for this battle, expecting a revenge attack from the Druddigon, yet it never came. And because of that, I was basically able to just sweep through Drayden with Force Palms, even with the Haxorus Dragon Dancing. So I've kinda got to talk about this battle in a what-if scenario. Usually Drayden is a hard nut to crack. I still always considered this guy to be the true final boss of the gym leaders, like he was in Black and White 1. But even with that, going through his team again made me realize something. Drayden's just all about going full force into you with his Pokemon. You probably wouldn't do that in a competitive scenario, which is why Elesa is number 1 here. She has a clear strategy in mind, and you should know what I'm referring to. The bastard fault switching Emolgas.
I fear no man, but that thing, it scares me.
Yeah, that plan is here again in Black and White 2, only that Elesa actually swaps one of them out for a Fluffy. But do not get overconfident because of this, your overconfidence is your weakness. Emolga and Fluffy will chip you down if you allow them to, leaving Zebstrika to clean house with its Sparks and Flame Charging. Now granted, I did come into this battle with a pretty weak team. Let's just say my team in this game wasn't exactly the best at dealing with electric types. But even with that, I can still see the vision. Elesa should not be underestimated, and I can definitely say in this instance, I did not deserve to win. Credit to Elesa, she's probably already number 1 for me with the original Black and White leaders. But here in Black and White 2, I honestly wasn't expecting her to be at the top again, especially with the better amount of options you have to take her on with the improved Pokédex in this game. But hey, she's a model that's still continuing to shine brightest. You are bringing great pride to your fellow Electric type users here, girl. So congrats Elesa, you are number 1.